might. Oh, thank you. You guys are the best.
Call meeting order. Roll call.
Mayor Westgard,
Yes.
Moeller,
Yes.
Stankin.
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Wolfman,
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Anyone here for public forum? No. Consent agenda. Any additions or corrections?
Nope.
Motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Roll call.
Wolfman,
Yes.
Moeller,
Yes.
Stankin.
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
We have one building permit for Dwayne Schultes. That's okay.
It has been approved, yes.
We have a motion to approve that one.
I'll make it.
Second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Stankin,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Moeller,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Wolfman.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the pluses and minuses of moving the electric service at the building. Nate, did you wanna say anything?
Well, I mean, I think everybody kind of knows what my proposal was and where we're at with it, and, other than that, I mean, we just looked at it. I mean, there's pluses and minuses to both sides of it, I guess, but I'd like to see something. I mean, I'm up for ideas, but I mean, I'd like to see something happen there anyways, and, I know that there's, you know, some issues with cost and everything like that, and I didn't know how, you know, as far as, you know, I guess I didn't know where everybody's thoughts were on it. I mean, your guys' thoughts, I kind of expressed my thoughts a little bit last meeting, so.
I'm curious what Lee might have to say. You got fiber optic there,
Yeah, we got a vault there with a 288 fiber in it.
and you'd move that out of the goodness of your heart?
No. Nate and I talked about that, you know, and right now the cost to, just to, if we had to move and splice that is $40 a fiber to burn, to splice, so you're looking at roughly 10 grand just for the splicing and no labor to move that. We did discuss some other things about moving the pedestal a little bit if we could, and around to the west side of the vault a little bit. We would look at doing that. That would be something that we could probably do at very minimal cost.
That might be enough to get the cars for the parking, was what I was thinking. I was gonna try to park my pickup there, but the dumpster was there today, so. We were thinking that extra 3 foot or whatever it
Yeah.
would be, could be enough, and then it wouldn't be wedged in the corner and.
But then if Cornville would look at pushing their bed back to the west 3 feet, it's not just that the city could look to push ours back 3 feet.
No, cause that would make it worse for the steps.
I'd like to see them move to the north, but not back where you want them. You know, they have to have access. But I think then the gas meter comes into question, so if we could get an opinion on the gas, is that feasible?
Yeah, I can talk with Scott Kinzer again. We've been down there and reviewed everything about that and discussed that gas meter there at Brotherton's building also. And it causes, it causes some problems down there as far as looking at, like moving those transformers still needs to have that clearance away from it. So we'd look at options there, but then they're only supposed to install a gas meter so many feet from the corner, unless they had said for Nate's they'd be willing to go part way down the side of the wall there, because it's a commercial building, so maybe we'd work the same deal with them on that. But I guess it's up in the air about that, and I'd hate to speak for Black Hills.
How would you protect the equipment, if you move them, I don't care where you move, when you got cars pulling in, backing out?
We talked about those concrete poles or whatever that you set on the 4 corners of it. And, I mean, no matter where it goes, yeah, I mean, there's gonna be probably cars in and out and.
I'm just even thinking about winter, you know what I'm saying?
Right, snow removal, stuff
Snow
like that.
removal and stuff like that, that's a little bit of a concern to me, because, I don't know, it just could happen, I guess, with vehicles going in and out, that exposure is a little more than what it was, anyway, so.
And what was the cost on moving those
Ours, the cost estimate is about $10,000.
each?
That's total.
But a
That's
lot of
total,
that,
yeah.
I mean, that's not, you know, some of that, you're talking about the labor and all of that, which is fine, except that those employees are working somewhere anyway. I mean, I don't know that that's an accurate reflection, but I think the actual supplies, you know, Nate should have to share in that cost, I would think, if we're going through. That's just kind of where I'm tentatively at, you know, is I just would like to see what we could do. They're not in a very good place for access now, right now.
No. Yeah, they're kind of put their, I mean, they're not even within the city right away where they're sitting right now, so.
We certainly got an easement to be there, don't we?
Just probably an easement by right is as far as that they've been there for so long. I did not find a written easement for that.
So if we move them to the north by the adjoining property, wouldn't they then be in the city easement?
It'd be in the city right away, yeah, right away in the street. We would make it so that they're within the city right away.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I'd like to know if that's possible.
Well, and then, you know, part of it is then the big impact that has on the neighboring, building owner then too.
What impact do you think that'll have?
Just, especially when they think about any future uses of their property. And I know that they have talked about different things, even something like a garage out the back that Brotherton's had, so, and I haven't talked with them recently about that, but that idea's been brought up in the past.
There's enough room.
And we
there
still
for a
have
garage.
we still have to leave room for Bill to be able to work on it.
Yeah, and if they
That's another one of my concerns, I guess.
face to the street, you know, if they're in the right of way, that addresses those concerns.
Nate, does this have to happen before construction starts?
It's kind of I mean, I gotta figure out what is gonna happen on this end of it, so I can let the natural gas company know where they can put their meters. Because if the transformers are gonna get moved, then they're gonna probably put their meters for natural gas in that corner where the transformers were, instead of going all the way down the building like we had talked. In which case, that way I can get rid of the propane tank so they can build the steps, so they can start accessing in and out. So I mean, it'd kind of be nice to have a plan, so I knew, especially let the natural gas company know. And they're gonna be back there digging, so if they do decide, and I had made the comment to Scott Kinzer about Chris's meter in the first place, cause it was never supposed to be put there anyways. And, I said, can we move that? And he goes, well, you know, same thing. He said, well, we can do anything's possible. So if we did need to move his a little bit further in to accommodate for it, I mean, that'd be the time to do it while they were there doing mine and do it all in one crack. But
We'll have to, any of the councilmen have any motions they would like to entertain? Or do you wanna wait for Scott Kinzer?
I think we should find out more where we're at first before we do anything.
We need
I
to
mean,
know
what's
how
that?
far the steps come out too. How far these steps are gonna come out, John?
Yeah, how far the steps are coming out and,
Well, I think you need to speak with Scott, but I think you also need to speak to the neighboring.
Maybe
if you have name their owner.
Right.
Yeah, cause I think
You know, a little bit
technically,
more.
they would be better in a better location. No matter where those steps are at, they're gonna impede.
sure, I mean, if I move them to the other side,
They're
they're gonna
gonna-
have to move the gas meter then.
Right.
You know, I mean, no matter what happens, it's gonna have to, something's gonna happen there. And I had
So-
briefly talked with Chris about having the steps on his side. He just, you know, we didn't really come to an agreement on anything, we just kinda let him know about that, and I told him about the transformers and just kinda filled him in a little bit, from there, so. But, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the back of that building that makes it pretty difficult.
Well, we'll wait till we talk to Amanda and Kinzer.
Sure
Get that set up, so we got, next meeting, that we
And
can
maybe
have.
they can be
So the
here.
next meeting, we can make a decision.
Right.
Yeah,
You okay with that, Nate?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Mean wants to extend our suppliers. That's a good thing, right, Bill?
Yeah, you bet, I'm all for it. Right now, the market's really good. So, you know, when our contracts due, it might be changed by then.
So this locks us in automatically with the price right now, or they still have to determine?
No, they have to give us a price,
They have to give us a price?
right? But what I'm saying, if you wait till the end of the contract, the market might change in another year and a half.
But I'm just saying, so if they come in with this price now, and it's too high, or we think it's too high, I'm just saying, we don't have to do it, we don't have to react to it,
You can let the current contract expire as normal, May of
okay?
2021.
So there's no reason not to go ahead with this?
Oh, and he's also gonna get prices from other suppliers too.
I mean, there's nothing to lose on it then, that's the
No,
case.
I like the idea because the market's really low right
Okay,
now.
well, yeah, you know more about that.
Take
right?
advantage of that low market. There's a lot of power in this area.
Okay,
And Scott, your take on that is, have a motion to, send a letter of interested?
Yeah, that we would, request pricing for a 3-year contract extension from Mean for a wholesale power purchase. So, just understanding that we'll request this, they gotta give it to us within 60 days. I think we have 60 days to digest and make a decision. And, if we would decide we wanted to accept that, it extends contract for 3 additional years, and if we decide not to, the contract just runs out.
So do you need a motion then to
Yep,
go ahead?
contract.
But Scott, you wanna wait to send it till the end of the month, right?
It'll be middle of November when we would send that, and it's just more a timing request from our consultant about when he'd be able to do some work for us.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second.
roll call.
Muller,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Boltman. Yes. Reese,
Yes.
thank you.
yes,
Okay, we have some news on our health insurance.
Yeah, so that health insurance renewal starts on page 8, and anyway, the premiums would go down 11.28% this year, so good news on that. And as that impacts our collective bargaining agreement, we had a stipulation in our contract that we have a 3-year contract, but if over the first 2 years, the price of health insurance would go up a total of more than 15%, that we would open wages and insurance for the 3rd year, okay? Anyway, the total went up, it was 5 point some percent over those 2 years. So we would not be opening the union bargaining agreement here for year 3. I would just suggest that we should approve this renewal, and we'd be happy for a year.
So move.
Second,
I'll second it.
roll call.
Boltman,
Love being happy for a year, yes.
thank you.
Yes,
Tom,
Yes.
Reese, Mulder,
Yes.
City administrator report.
I guess just know that our auditors are gonna be here next Monday to begin their work. They'll have 2 or 3 days worth of field work, I would guess. The tuck pointing crew began their work here today and would expect that they would be here for at least several days. We sent out that notice to our utility customers about our e-bills option, that people can receive their utility bills through email. And we got a pretty nice response right away. We're right at 50 accounts now will be receiving their bills through email.
I wanna do that too, I just forgot to do it.
I already did.
Me too, so now you got
I might
52.
respond immediately.
We'll just get you signed up, because all I need is an email address, and I'm happy you guys with email.
You do,
Yeah.
and that other one doesn't work.
The city?
Lifestyle?
Yeah, it does. I need to make some changes on everybody's device in order for that to happen, I think.
Do we need a head count from Northwest Iowa League?
We do need a head count for Northwest Iowa League, which is this Thursday, and it's up at Storm Lake. And it's a legislative roundtable, so we had at least 6 legislators who are gonna be there. And I haven't heard about an updated number, so hopefully more. But, so who's able to go to Storm Lake?
I hate it, but I cannot this Thursday.
okay.
I can.
It does start at 5 o'clock, is
Is
that
school
early?
out? No,
No?
I can't.
I'm not able to either.
I think Perry's gonna be gone.
You are leading the meeting, yes? Yep. Yep. And my last thing is this, notice that was on, at your seat, is, a proposal from, this West Plains Engineering. We got hooked up with them through Wall Lake Lumber, and they would provide the engineering services for the library building project for electrical and the mechanical stuff. Okay, so what this does do is allow us to have a full set of engineering plans for building the structure, of course, but also solid documents to take out to bid. And we feel really confident about this. So they did send 2 of their engineers down here last week, and we went to the library, and they spent a lot of time up at the attic looking at everything and how everything would tie in together. And they feel real confident about that. Anyway, just know that the cost of their proposals is $13,500, which is right in the ballpark of where they told us it would be. They said between 12 and 15. It's not an agenda item tonight, so we can't take any action, but I will work with them to get things rolling on this, and it'll be on the council meeting next time, but we'll get them rolling so that we could get some plans ready to go.
Just make sure they don't have to have any additional site visits
$900 per visit, yeah?
per person.
Per person, yeah.
Just make sure they've included everything.
You know, and you gotta, you really gotta watch that, but at the same token, remember that this is partially kind of a piecemeal deal, because we had a different guy do the structural work, okay, and then these folks would do the
But we
electric
had
and
one guy
mechanical
do all the
stuff.
lagoon work, and that didn't make any difference, so. Just saying.
I'm, you know, and this comes from the guy who forgot to put the heating system in our building down there, but it concerns me a little bit. We're not utilizing a traditional method to do this, but I feel a lot better about this than us trying to bid things off of some contractor plan. I feel real good about that.
Okay, the council's getting ready to go into closed session, so everyone would please leave except for Bill and Alex. Have a motion to go into closed session? Second?
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Holden? Thank you.
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Reese?
Yes.
Yeah, in closed session, the only one that can be here is Alex and Bill.
Alex has asked us to be here. There is no law that says that we can't be here to support him.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, but there is, if it's going to be a closed session, then
He
whether
has
you,
a right to have people support him and be here. The union is not here to represent him, so there is a right to have us here. We have a right to sit here and listen.
not in a closed session.
Yes, we do, because we are here for him.